Okay, guys, we got four more drafts. We're getting to the end of this one, the first one, both in time and number of rounds. 18th round, 2 minutes on the clock. Not much to choose from here. We got a couple players queued. We got a bunch of players just randomly queued up that I've been working on, and a bunch of tight ends. We already got two strong tight ends in Sam Laporta and Pat Frymuth in this one. So we're not going to get the tight end right now, which means that we're looking at getting a wide receivers. We only have 6 wide receivers. And the top one that we got queued up is Jalen Hyatt. He's a New York Giant, can hit some big plays, goes up, bring back with Indianapolis in week 17, I believe. So that's our pick. There's nothing really super exciting. Indianapolis, like Pierce or something like that, maybe with like our last pick. If we wanted to get an Indianapolis guy, Khalif Raymond from Detroit, if we want to go that route. And then who's our third? And then Pittsburgh. There's nothing else. Is it Pittsburgh? Yeah, Pittsburgh's our last one. There's nothing there on that one. Um, some of our other players are interested, I think, win as well. We were considering like Estime, as we I think we were considering Estime. We had another like to pair up with our other Denver backfield mate to see if we get one of them. We had the um, other New York Giant that just went as well. So there's a couple players we are looking at. We're gonna get Hyatt, and it's just 18th round pick that works what we got. Nothing super exciting. Next one here, we're in the 6th round, middle of the 6th round, and this is the one where we took Hollywood Brown in the 5th, hoping that we could somehow convince Patrick Mahomes to get to us in the 6th. Funny thing is Patrick Mahomes got taken in the 5th, but then he didn't take Rashee Rice in the 6th, which means now Rashee Rice is available for me, and I can't take him at this point in time, unfortunately. I already have Hollywood Brown. I got Cooper Kupp. I got two 6th round wide receivers already, 6th round by wide receivers already. And on top of that, we got Kyle Pitts available past ADP, which is mainly the only time I'm getting them, minus if I get like Drake London or something like that, it makes sense. Maybe I'll take him slightly earlier. But really, it's between Kyle Pitts and Kenneth Walker at 8 or slightly, basically at ADP, which is also an interesting pick. I already have Jonathan Taylor on this team. Kyle Pitts is, believe it or not, the last big high-end tight end available because Evan Ingram was taken before him. That makes this draft a little funny too, because I'm going to have 4 different stacking options with Detroit, the LA Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars, and now the Atlanta Falcons. But I don't think I'm going to be on the right side of the board to make it an easy pairing. So I'm going to have to be paying attention to what's going on in this one and maybe reach on one of them or open up another stack or something like that at some point in time. But I'm going to take Pitts here past ADP. The only other option, like the next player that would fall would be Rashee Rice or Kenneth Walker. I like the Kenneth Walker play as well, but I don't feel like it's any stronger than getting Kyle Pitts here. Again, before ADP. We'll take Kyle Pitts, open up the stack, and then I actually kind of like that more as I'm thinking about it because we might have to open up some other kind of stack later on. And I do think like a Seattle stack with Zach Charbonnet might make sense if we get that point. We would have to take one of the wide receivers, like our 5th, and then our 6th wide receiver or something like that. But it would make sense. It could make sense. We're gonna take. I feel like it's too early to make that decision right now. We're gonna take Kyle Pitts and figure out the rest. Next one here. There's one that is leaving us with no fantastic options. It's probably this one, or one of them at least. It's not. There's no fantastic options. In this draft right here, we are in the 11th round. We got Jaden Daniels as our QB number 1. We don't have many stacking options at this point in time. Speaking of Seattle, I think all the Seattle receivers went. They did. So our options here are our options here are none of the above. Okay, this is our best option, I think, on this one, and this is what that's why I got it queued up here too. We're gonna get either Kirk Cousins, we're either gonna do like an Atlanta stack or a Pittsburgh stack if we're lucky, one of the two. I was looking at another team, another draft, and it looked very similar to this one, to tell the truth, but it was slightly different. The difference was the Bijan team only had one QB. And because of that, the Bijan team took Kirk Cousins early. He didn't have anything else in Atlanta because the only thing was London. But the Kirk Cousins team took not the Kirk Cousins, sorry, the Bijan Robinson team took Kirk Cousins. And then it was actually over here. I think it was the number 12 team also had Pickens, and they ended up taking Frymuth in that draft. The interesting thing here in this one is that this team already has 2 tight ends. This team already has 2 QBs. And so there's a better chance that at least one of them, this team here probably is going to be taking Kirk Cousins, which I'm okay with. If that happens, I'm hoping Fryermuth makes it all the way to me. And we might have like an ugly Washington, Pittsburgh team or something like that in this one, which is very ugly, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And I think that might be what we got to do. We're going to take Gus Edwards here as our number 4 running back. Why Gus Edwards? I think the Chargers maybe have a bring back with some of those other teams. Maybe. Let's see if we can confirm that really quick. Los Angeles Chargers, they don't really have any. Okay, they got to bring back with Denver. And this one here, do we have Chase and Higgins? We have Chase and Higgins in this one too. So we're probably gonna do like a Washington and then either Atlanta or Pittsburgh, and then try to do like a Denver thing as well on this one. And so the LA Chargers play is week 16 bring back against Denver if we can make that work. And then it's also a match up with anything else on this one. Nothing else really on this one. But if we do that, the Denver thing matches up with a lot of the rest of our team, though, or at least with the Cincinnati part of the team. And we need a running back here for the most part if we want to keep wide receiver spots open for Denver later on, or even for Washington later on too. We probably want to look for both of those. We also need another tight end, and we could go. If we don't get Fryermuth, we could go with Washington tight end on this one too. This team's gonna look a little funny overall, but we'll put together a squad, I guess. Okay, Gus Edwards it is on this one. Welcome to the squad, Gus Edwards. Last one here. So this one I feel a lot better on. We got a Kyler Murray thing going. We were trying to get again another Burrow thing going here with Cincinnati, but it didn't work. We got sniped. Look at that. Another two different drafts. We missed out on a we got a Chase Higgins team. Another one we missed out on. That's unfortunate. We got Kyler Murray on this one. And then we're going to do a New Orleans thing. We're already building it out. And I think we're saying a New York, we got potential New York Giants thing if we want to go there, or we can try to go do a Denver thing again for the other side of that Cincy game. I feel like the Denver thing is probably the way to go again if we can make it happen, just because Denver has some deep threat receivers with a late round QB and late round receivers as well. So both of them could work. We got a lot of week 11 going on right now too. So we're not really, I don't think we're going to be getting another, we don't have too much of week 11 going on. It's just spread out across the different positions. So we're going to go with Miller here. That's going to help build out this New Orleans thing. We're eventually going to get Carr on this team. Miller's like right at cost too, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right? Miller, a little slightly before. He goes 145, it's 139. He goes 146, it's 139. So slightly ahead of cost. He's essentially tied for the top of the queue though at running back. I like all these guys are all interesting players right here. My next pick is 150, round 13. Derek Carr usually goes at 173. So we'll go get Derek Carr 160, probably either 163 or 174, depending on how the board lands and how we feel about it, how the rest of the teams are. That being said, we've monopolized the New Orleans thing right now, and that we got their top two receivers, and then we got their number two running back. There is Hill, and there is their pass catching Alvin Kamara. And so there's a little bit of concern there. Again, Carr goes in what round? 173.9. Usually goes in the 15th round. 15th round is this way. Where is Alvin Kamara? Who knows where Alvin Kamara is going to get drafted in these things? So the nice thing is that Alvin Kamara is. We'll find him somewhere, I swear. Right here. He's on the other side of the board. So the nice thing is that we might be able to push Carr. We already got teams with two wide quarterbacks. Maybe these other teams pick up another quarterback here to get two as well. That would make us feel even better about pushing Carr around to the other side, as opposed to drafting him slightly early. Where's Tyreek Hill? Not Tyreek Hill, sorry. Taysom Hill at. He should have gotten drafted by now too. Let's see if we can find him. Maybe he didn't get drafted yet. Oh, I guess he didn't get drafted yet. Tight end. So he usually goes at 147. We might look at getting him at 150. Not really looking to grab him at this point typically. But if there's a build to do it, it's this one, right? Why not? What else are we going to take at that point? We'll look and see. At 150, there are some interesting running backs still available sometimes. And that Ty Chandler might still be available. Marshawn Lloyd might still be available. Jalen Wright, Kamani Vidal. All those players are around as well. So we got to look and see what makes the most sense for us. We do have 4 running backs, though, after this pick. So we're in good shape at running back with Connor Warren, Blake Corum, and now Miller. So we got some flexibility on what we can do here. We can basically go any route we want to take with the next pick. But Taysom Hill, finding a reason to take him, maybe makes sense here too. Okay, we're taking Miller, feeling fantastic about this pick. Okay, there's our 4 drafts. I don't know if this was the most exciting one, but things working out in general, minus I think one of the drafts. Okay, see you on the next one. Peace.